Let me tell you something that nobody wants to admit. 2025 is almost over. And if you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you started this year with big plans, goals you were excited about, habits you swore you'd build, a version of yourself you promised you'd become. So here's my question. Did you become that person? Or are you sitting here, scrolling through videos, wondering where the last 12 months went? Here's the truth. January 1st means absolutely nothing if you bring the same habits into 2026 that kept you stuck in 2025. So today, I'm giving you 10 habits that will actually change your life in 2026. Not motivational fluff, not trends that fade by February, real, tested habits that compound over time and transform who you are from the inside out. Let's get into it. Habit 1. The morning mind reset. Most people lose their day before it even starts. They wake up, immediately grab their phone, and flood their brain with notifications, emails, and everyone else's problems before their own mind has even caught up. Here's what top performers do differently. They protect the first hour of their day like it's sacred. No phone, no email, no social media, just them and their thoughts. This isn't about waking up at 4 a.m. or some extreme morning routine. It's about giving yourself 30 to 60 minutes where you're not reacting to the world. You're setting your own agenda. When you start your morning by checking your phone, you're essentially asking everyone else, what should I think about today? When you protect that first hour, you're telling yourself, I decide what matters. Try this for just 7 days in 2026. Leave your phone in another room overnight. Wake up and do something that centers you before you give your attention away. You'll be shocked how much calmer and more focused your entire day becomes. Habit 2, the never zero rule. This is the habit that saved my life. I discovered it in a random online comment 3 years ago, and it's probably the most powerful concept I've ever applied. The rule is simple. Never let any day hit zero. 0 pages read, 0 words written, 0 minutes moving, 0 efforts toward your goals. You avoid zero like it's toxic. On days when you feel completely destroyed, when motivation is gone, when everything feels impossible, you do the absolute bare minimum just to avoid zero. 1 page, 1 sentence, 1 push-up. Here's why this works. It's not actually about productivity. It's about identity. You can't call yourself a writer if you never write. You can't be someone who values health if you stack up too many zero movement days. Some days you'll achieve 1% instead of 100%. That's infinitely better than zero. Because the real secret isn't perfection. It's never completely quitting. Zero is where momentum dies. Zero is where habits break. Zero is where that version of yourself you're trying to become starts to fade. In 2026, make this your non-negotiable. Never hit zero. Even 1 minute counts. Even 1 rep matters. Because the consistency, even at 1%, beats perfection every single time. Habit 3. Weekly life audit. Life piles up quietly. Tasks accumulate. Clutter builds. Unfinished thoughts linger in the background, creating mental weight you don't even notice until it's crushing you. That's why one of the most powerful habits you can build is a weekly reset, a time where you step back and audit your life. Set aside 30 minutes every Sunday evening or Saturday morning. Review your week. What worked? What didn't? What's weighing on you that needs to be cleared? Then reset everything. Tidy your space, clear your inbox, review your goals, plan your upcoming week, and identify your top 3 priorities for the next 7 days. Most people feel like they're always catching up, always behind, always reacting. The weekly audit flips that. You're not catching up, you're starting ahead. In 2026, pick 1 day and time for your weekly audit. Block it in your calendar like it's a meeting you can't miss. Because when you control your week, you control your year. And when you control your year, you control your life. Habit 4, the 2-minute start. Procrastination isn't about laziness. It's about your brain seeing a big, overwhelming task and saying, absolutely not. Too much. Not today. That's why the 2-minute rule is so powerful. When you want to build any new habit or start any task, commit to just 2 minutes. That's it. Want to start exercising? 2 minutes. Want to read more? 2 minutes. Want to work on that side project? Just 2 minutes. Your brain sees, I'm going to write for 3 hours and revolts, but 2 minutes? Your brain shrugs and says, fine, whatever. Here's the magic. Starting is the hardest part. Once you're 2 minutes in, momentum usually carries you forward. You keep reading. You keep writing, you keep moving, and even if you don't, even if you genuinely stop at 2 minutes, you've still won because those 2 minutes are infinitely better than zero and they build the identity of someone who shows up. In 2026, use this for any habit you've been avoiding. Lower the barrier so much that your brain can't make excuses. Stack enough 2 minute starts, and suddenly you've built something significant without ever feeling overwhelmed. Habit 5. Ruthless digital boundaries. Your phone is both the most powerful tool you own and the biggest thief of your time, attention, and mental peace. Every notification, every scroll, every quick check is fragmenting your focus and stealing minutes that add up to hours, days, and years of your life. In 2026, it's time to set ruthless digital boundaries. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Charge your phone outside your bedroom. Set a digital sunset, a time each evening when screens are done. These aren't restrictions, they're liberation. Each boundary gives you back a piece of your attention, which is the most valuable currency you have. You'll notice something remarkable when you do this. Life gets quieter. Your mind gets clearer. You become more present in conversations, more focused on tasks, more engaged with the moment you're actually in. Digital boundaries don't make your life smaller. They create space for the things that actually matter: deep work, real relationships, meaningful experiences. Habit 6, the learning stack. Here's something most people don't realize: your income, your opportunities, and your future are directly connected to what you know. Warren Buffett spends 80% of his day reading. Bill Gates reads for an hour every morning. The wealthiest, most successful people on the planet are obsessed with learning, but most people treat learning like it ended when school did. They stop reading, they stop growing, they stop exposing themselves to new ideas. In 2026, commit to stacking learning into your daily routine. Just 15 to 20 minutes a day. Read 5 pages of a book. Listen to a podcast during your commute. Watch one educational video. Learn one new concept. It doesn't sound like much, but here's the math. 5 pages a day equals 18 books a year. That's more than 99% of people will read. Knowledge compounds. What you learn today multiplies into better decisions, clearer thinking, and unexpected opportunities tomorrow. The person you'll become by the end of 2026 will be shaped by what you feed your mind today. Habit 7, the gratitude anchor. Your brain has a negativity bias. It's wired to scan for problems, threats, and what's wrong. But in modern life, that bias just makes you miserable. That's why gratitude is so powerful. It rewires your brain to see differently. In 2026, make it concrete. Pick one daily trigger: brushing your teeth, making coffee, turning off your alarm. Every time that trigger happens, pause and name one thing you're grateful for. Just one. It could be as small as a taste of your morning drink or as big as the people in your life. What matters is the consistency. By pairing gratitude with a daily cue, you're training your brain to automatically scan for what's good. Over weeks and months, this rewires your default perspective. Gratitude won't erase your problems, but practice daily, it transforms how you carry them. You become someone who notices light instead of only seeing darkness. Habit 8, the hard thing first. Every day, there's one task that matters more than all the others. One thing that, if completed, would make everything else easier or irrelevant. Most people avoid this task. They fill their day with easy wins, busy work, and distractions. Then, at the end of the day, the important thing is still sitting there, creating stress and guilt. Top performers do the opposite. They tackle the hard thing first, before emails, before meetings, before anything else. They identify their most important task and do it when their willpower is strongest and their mind is sharpest. In 2026, make this your rule. Identify your frog every morning. What's the one task that will move the needle? What's the thing you're most tempted to avoid? Do that first, even if it's just one focused hour before anything else. Completing your most important task early creates momentum, confidence, and a sense of control that carries through your entire day. Stop saving the hard stuff for later when you're tired. Do it first when you're fresh. Habit 9, real human connection. We live in the most connected yet most lonely time in human history. You can message 1,000 people but feel completely isolated. In 2026, commit to genuine human connection. Give one genuine compliment daily. Put your phone face down during conversations. Reach out to one person a week you've been meaning to connect with. These tiny acts of connection compound into stronger relationships, deeper trust, and a sense of belonging that no amount of likes or followers can provide. Success isn't just what you achieve, it's who you share it with. Your relationships will determine your happiness more than any accomplishment ever will. Make 2026 the year you prioritize people over profiles, presence over popularity, depth over distance. Habit 10. The identity shift. Here's the habit that makes all the others stick. Stop focusing on what you want to do and start focusing on who you want to become. Most people set goals. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to read more. But goals fade when motivation disappears. Identity lasts. Instead of, I want to exercise, become someone who moves daily. Instead of, I want to read, become a reader. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Ate vegetables today. Vote for a healthy person. Read 5 pages. Vote for a reader. Showed up when you didn't feel like it. Vote for someone reliable. In 2026, ask yourself regularly, what would the person I'm trying to become choose right now? Then make that choice, even when it's hard. Because transformation isn't about doing different things occasionally. It's about becoming a different person consistently. Closing. So here we are. 10 habits that will change your life in 2026 if you actually do them. You don't need to implement all 10 tomorrow. Pick 2 or 3 that resonate most. Master those. Then add more. Because here's what happens when you stack even a few of these habits, something shifts. Life feels lighter. You feel more in control. Confidence grows in ways you can actually measure. 2026 can be the year everything changes, or it can be another year of, I'll start Monday. The choice is entirely yours. If this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Drop a comment telling me which habit you're starting with. I rate every single one. Remember, transformation happens in the smallest choices you repeat. Your future is being built quietly, one habit at a time. And today, right now, is the perfect day to start. Let's make 2026 the year you look back on and barely recognize who you used to be. Now go build those habits. I'll see you in the next video.